You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 158, When They See Us, Part 2, which is episodes 3 and 4 of the limited Netflix series directed by Ava DuVernay. So if you have not watched this miniseries, it is on Netflix right now, and you can go back and listen to episode 157 that we put out 2 weeks ago that covers the first 2 episodes of the miniseries. Again, this is a review of the miniseries. This is not the actual miniseries. Please do yourself a favor, get Netflix and watch it through whatever means you can. Obviously, this is picking up midway through the series about the Central Park Five, aka the Exonerated Five. So we talked about the actors who played the children in the first half of the series. So the people playing the adult versions, Jerome continues to play Corey, Javon Adepo, Chris Chalk, Justin Cunningham, and Freddie Mayeras play the adult versions of the kids. Obviously, only Jerome plays the same character.
Jerome lobbied for an audition while he was busy filming some film named Mr. Mercedes, for which he had grown a beard. With the beard, he was afraid he would be considered too old to play the younger Corey, and he fully expected that the project would cast 2 different actors to play the part at different ages. After finishing Mr. Mercedes, he shaved his beard and auditioned again. Ava DuVernay was so impressed by both his audition and how much his facial hair had aged him that she cast him as Corey for both ages.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of interesting that that's true, because I feel like when I was watching it, because the last episode is all about him, you kind of need the same actor.
Yeah, you can't really switch that up.
Right.
Plus his performance, his performance is incredible. And I would not want to follow,
right,
the younger performance that he gave. And yeah, like you said, I think it helps speak to the fact that, they use the same actor. This character is supposed to be 16, but he's tried as an adult.
Yeah.
But they use him throughout, to let you know, hey, this isn't, with psychologically, with the 2 different actors, you can kind of be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is as a kid. No, if you see the same actor as a kid and then grow up while he's in jail, from jail to jail to jail, it has more of an impact on you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It absolutely did.
It does.
Really
it does.
did.
And obviously we're going to we'll do episode 3 and 4, and we'll delineate once we get to episode 4. His story, the last episode is solely about him and the exoneration, but 99% of it is just about Corey's story. I don't want to say it's the most powerful of the stories, because that may come off as sort of dismissive of the other stories, but it is. You know what I mean? It's not that the other guys didn't go through hell, but
right,
man, this kid's story is just harrowing. It just really is. So I really think it says a lot that he played both roles, but it says a lot in how well he played them. I mean, his performance as young Corey was stellar. His performance as older Corey is fucking second to none. I mean, just him, we'll get to it, but the premonitions he's having and all this other shit, it was just really stellar. It was very impressive, considering I'd only seen him in Moonlight, which I thought he was very good at, right? Which was
something else recently besides this. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay, but which is also another movie that he gets aged up in. Right? That was another movie that he played the young version, but then he didn't get to play the old version.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, do you guys have any sort of specific thoughts on episode 3 and 4 of the series that you want to talk about before we get started?
Episode 3 is basically about them getting out and how difficult it is to assimilate back into society. And that's what everyone says, you know, you do a crime, you do your time, and then you'll be assimilated back into society. This episode very clearly and poignantly, you know, shows that it's not easy. It's, you know, everyone can say that shit. You know what I mean? Everyone is quick to give some sort of platitude, but no, it's not easy. And you see how people can fall back into doing things that, well, in this case, start, you know, acting out, I guess, is for lack of a better term.
Right, because they didn't do
anything before.
Right.
But, yeah, it's not as simple as, oh, yeah, we'll just get a job now. Felon, sexual predator, just get a job now.
Yeah.
So it's very good. And then the last episode is just a goddamn horror movie, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. It was if I have a criticism, is that the last episode was so much of a gut punch that the exoneration just kind of felt like it came out of, you know, very, very quickly. And then it was just like, hey, you guys, we finally believe you now. And then it felt, I don't know if rushed is the right word, but I don't know. It's just, these guys don't get their due, man. Like, they don't get their just desserts. And they even talked about it on the Oprah special, right? Like, Oprah's talking to these guys, and she says, well, some people are going to say, hey, you got $41 million, you know, system worked. What are you mad about? And one of the guys is like, well, first of all, I didn't get $41 million. We had to split it. And then we had to pay for all the fees, and we had to pay for all the lawyers, and it's, you know, and then money doesn't buy back time.
Right.
They don't buy back time.
I would happily, because they got, about $8 million a piece, right?
Something like that.
You know, and that's, like you said, before paying lawyers.
Before paying out, and taxes and all that shit.
You have to pay taxes. Nigga, all right. Like, come on, yo. Here's an idea. If you're going to give people who were exonerated for a crime they didn't commit, you got to give them that money. That's tax-free.
Yeah, like,
you can't hit them with taxes, too. Like, no, but we need our money. But isn't it already your money? Okay,
yeah,
that's stupid. But, okay, so they got $8 million. Let's say they walk away with $5 million, right? A piece. I would happily not get $5 million to not go through what they went through.
Yeah.
100%.
One of them was like, I just recently had to bury my mom. And he spent 13 years not being able to be there with her. It's like that $5 million doesn't buy her a new kidney and a new pancreas.
Right.
Like,
doesn't buy time, like you said.
So
yeah, I can't imagine the level of insensitivity to make that argument. Like, well, you got money. Like, yo, are you willing to give up 6 to 14 years of your life
and that's
for
how people
$5 million? I'm not.
Nah.
And that's
to go to jail?
That's how much money.
Wilding.
That's how much money rules this country, man.
Yeah, you got to pay out.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah. No. Keep your money. Give me my freedom. I would happily live the rest of my life not in jail and $5 million less in my bank account. Happily.
The only other piece
They
of
didn't
trivia,
get it till 2014.
right?
Right.
Yeah, they just now got the shit. Like
Right.
4 years ago. So it was like,
Yeah, because they were wrestling with New York City over that shit for a long
New York
time.
was like, fuck y'all niggas. I ain't giving y'all shit. But you wrongfully accused us of rape and threw us in prison for 7 to 14 years.
And ruined our
Okay,
lives.
and you fucked my life over.
Yeah, but you got out though.
No thanks to y'all bitch ass niggas. like for real. The motherfucker that confessed had more of a conscience than you did.
Yeah, which is also
Which is fucking bizarre.
yeah, that was bizarre.
The only other piece of trivia from IMDb is that due to the sordid and distressful nature of the material, the production budget provided on-call crisis counselors for anyone in need of emotional appeasement during or after the daily shoots.
Wow. Yeah, someone Blair Underwood said that. He was like, yeah, they had crisis counselors on set.
Understandable.
Just in case.
Did they mention that anyone used it?
I'm sure people did. You wouldn't have it. They wouldn't spring for that stuff if I don't think people used it.
It should probably be a thing in a lot of movies that are made, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerome, he was like, when he was trying to find the character, he was like, this is the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my professional life.
Yeah, I can understand that. No, he crushed it.
And it's not like he's old. He's 20. He's like 21. He was born in 97.
We are old, We are old.
21
washed.
years old. Good Lord.
Wow. Yeah, it was just a stellar performance all the way around. All right, let's jump right into it. Terrence, do you have anything to say about this before we move in?
No, it's great. Like, the performances still, like, especially episode 4. Like, Jerome crushed it. Like, and again, that episode, like I said, I got through the first 3, like, I'm not going to say no problem, because I'm like, I was just mad the first 3 episodes. That last episode, I'm like, yo, this is heartbreaking as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it was rough. That was the only one where I'm like, I have to take a break. I paused it, like, midway through, because I'm like, can't do it.
Yeah.
I think it was when them big niggas beat the shit out of him the first time. I'm like, okay, bloop. No, I don't need this because he didn't deserve.
Yeah. Okay. Yay, the fun ride begins. Yeah, Micah got the nice
Easy
2 out of the way.
One where they were coerced into some shit they didn't do, and beat up by cops. It was like throwing straws to see which one had to do the 2 episodes.
Yeah, that conversation, I was like, I'll do the last 2, and Terrence was like, good luck. You dummy.
Look, 3 again, like, it's just them being assimilated back into society. But 4, yo,
4,
like, have fun.
Yeah, 3 was the cool down.
It was like the reprieve a little bit.
Right.
Because like they're out, they're like living their lives. It's hard, but they're living their lives. Nah,
They're getting through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
like,
solitaire, nigga.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you good? Yeah, you feeling all right
I'm
about
about to rip
3?
your fucking heart out of your chest.
Exactly. Where's
Episode
Corey?
4.
About that.
Right. That's the perfect way to do it too. That was again, that's excellent fucking. That's just excellent fucking.
Yeah. I didn't realize, by the way, Ava DuVernay co-wrote this as well. So that really matters. She's you got to put her in that top tier, man. Going right now, you really do. She deserves it. So we open at Raymond Santana's grandmother's birthday celebration, and her family is there, including John Leguizamo, and they're all singing happy birthday to her, I assume, and so they ask her like, oh, do you have a wish or what have you, and she's like, I can't be happy because my grandson Raymond is in jail. And nobody wants to help him, and his situation is fucked, right? And because she was there when they were screwing Raymond over, but because her English isn't good, she couldn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, right.
Which, I mean, obviously this happened and it's real, but you can't write a better version of being disempowered than that. Right, you're literally sitting right there, but you just can't form the words to do anything. And yeah, they were like, "Oh, we have translators," but they weren't really listening to her. They didn't give a fuck.
All right, a translator. Yeah, we have translators that work for our side. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. Do you have an impartial, group? Nah. Yeah, it'd be like hiring me as a translator, like, ¿Dónde está esta biblioteca? And they'd be like, stop asking where the library is, my nigga. I need help. And I'd be like, that's all I know. Sorry. So they're at the party and they're having this conversation, and then the situation happens between John Leguizamo and his brother. They leave the party. They're standing outside, and his brother is like, "Look what you and your son have put our mother through, and for us to have a rapist in the family and all that stuff. Look, I don't have a brother, but if I did, I'd punch my brother right in the mouth. No, I would, yo." Like, this is my son you're talking about. Yeah. And like, you're his uncle. Damn, yo, you don't even believe in your fucking nephew?
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Like, but that's the power of the media, by the way, right? For people to hear something on repeat all the time. Yeah, this guy did it, this guy did it. With no evidence, none. Like, I would assume the uncle has some level of inside dope on like what was going on in the trial since his brother was there, right? And you still don't believe? Nah, I'd be like, yo, shut up. Shut up. Just stop talking. Get out of my face. And then the grandmother comes out and they piece it up or whatever. Then we cut to Raymond calling his father from jail. They're in sort of like a youth lockup. And they do this thing where they show the passing of time differently for all four boys, which I thought was clever. Like my wife pointed out, like they didn't use a formula of like them just sitting on the phone and they get older, right? Like they would have them through different situations, showing them getting older. They also did it with Corey later by showing different events happening on TV, like different music happening and 9/11 and stuff like that, to just give you an idea of the time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a clever way to do that instead of being like 1989, 1992, like which would be so cheap. So he calls his father. They have, they sort of have their conversation. It's real basic. They don't really dig into how he's doing or anything like that. It's like, hey, what'd you have for dinner? Like, what'd you guys have for dinner? Like, because they don't know how to really talk to each other, which is what I got out of it. His father and his grandmother then eventually go to see him in this sort of youth lockup, and they're basically, it does a good job of transitioning from them going to see him, and then on the other side of the room, Antron is seeing his mom, because they're at the same lockup. Just showing how close the world is too, right? Like they're all fucking right there. And Antron's visiting with his mother. He relays this whole notion of he's having this dream, this recurring dream about these footsteps getting closer and closer to him, right? Now, for him, he's seeing it, and from my perspective as the audience, you're meant to think he's feeling like the wall's kind of closing in on him, right? Like these police and everything just coming to kind of destroy his life. His mom smartly flips it and says, those footsteps are me coming closer and closer to come and get you out of here, right?
Yeah, which was dope.
What's that?
That was dope.
Yeah, because you can easily play into someone's fear and be like, "Oh, it's going to be okay, don't worry." Like, but she just flipped that shit, which I thought was like a real mom thing to do. One of the things I did notice about this, and it's, I don't know. Obviously, it's not made up because again, this is real life. They're all single parents. If you notice that, John Leguizamo by himself, Yusef's mother is by herself. Antron eventually
Technically, he wasn't in the beginning.
Right.
He wasn't, but as this thing goes on, his mom is a single mom, and Corey's mom is a single mom, right? So that's also another wrinkle to the whole thing of like these single parents having to weather the brunt of this whole thing by themselves and have no one else to lean back on. Which again, as I have learned over the last couple of weeks, my respect, but my mom is a single mom. My respect for single parents is through the roof. As a person who is raising a daughter who is not a single parent, and it is hard as shit. Like I cannot imagine what single parents deal with. So, and to have your kid go through this is incredible. So we fast forward. We fast forward in time and see Antron is released, and his mom is the person who's waiting outside that jail for him the second he gets out. And look, again, tears. Because I know that as I'm getting like fucking choked up about this, I know that if that happened to me, I know my mom would be the fucking first person there. I know she would, yeah. Right? I mean, she'd be standing there with my wife, obviously, but like, don't abandon me, girl. I'll be back.
Like, I ain't do it.
I didn't do it. But like, my mom would be there. She just would be. I knew she would be. So, and I don't know, like there's many times in this series, like I just see my mother and me like through these kids and their moms. Like I just do. And I'm trying not to get like emotional about it, but like I can't help it. Like it's just, that's just what I see because it was me and my mom for years. Like the first 16 years of my life were, it was just me and my mom. So, so Antron comes home and he's a grown ass man. Like he's a grown ass man. And he is trying to figure out what the world is like now. Right.
Yeah.
And he asks his mother, is his father around? And she's like, yeah, he's in the other room. And they go into this other room and his father is asleep. And I was like, damn, this nigga ain't even come to the jail. Like that was my first thought, right? And it turns out he's got kidney failure, right? So he's got like fluid around his heart, so he's really sick. And Michael K. Williams does a really good job. Just like he's kind of one of the undercover heroes of this movie. Like as far as acting is concerned. And
isn't he nominated too?
Fucking should be.
The little kid is nominated. John Leguizamo is nominated. Those are supporting roles. There's one more person nominated for a supporting role, and I think it is Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, no, he deserved it. I
think. And Jarrell Jerome is nominated for
Jarrell Jerome,
main
Ellis,
actress.
Outstanding supporting.
Yeah, Jerome, Ellis, Nash, Black, Leguizamo, Williams, Blake, and Formiga are all nominated. So they all deserved it.
I mean, just give it to this. Give everything to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel a way if this doesn't just crush every bit of competition.
I'm gonna feel a way if anybody from This Is Us wins this year.
Yeah, all right, you had enough.
Right. Calm down, This Is Us.
Like, look, we've cried. We've cried with you.
Right.
We get it.
Stop exploiting that fat woman for Emmys and pass the love around.
She is really good.
She is good, but they're exploiting her, I feel.
You know what? I was gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Not taking that bait. Huh?
Nice try. There's a lot to exploit. Anyway, damn it! Damn it! So close. It's me. All right, I'm sorry.
Shit.
It's too easy. Come on.
I got nothing.
Yeah, well. So Antron does say to his mother, he was like, look, I will take care of you. I will do what I got to do since you took care of me. But, like, I'm not taking care of him.
Damn, John Leguizamo was also fucking nominated.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. They got 11 nominations.
Asante Black, John Leguizamo, Michael K. Williams.
No, they all deserved it.
Wow.
Man. Is there anybody in this movie who wasn't good?
No.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, fuck that nigga. But
he wasn't acting.
Yeah.
He's being himself.
Oh, I thought you meant good in the sense of like good
humanity
versus evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He's not good. He's not good at all.
No, him, Felicity Huffman, again, we discussed this. Yeah, that's fucked up though. They didn't give Felicity Huffman a nomination. I feel like she deserved one.
yeah, I mean,
If you're gonna get Formiga got one. Nah, yo, you gotta look.
Give him real world offense. I mean,
Yeah, no, that don't look good.
She go satellite in
From a undisclosed location, like, yeah. Where are you calling from? A college
don't worry
campus?
about it. Mind your business.
Can you let me out? Nah.
Plus, they don't want him to show it how easy she's got it in that Martha Stewart jail or wherever the hell.
No, she got bond, nigga.
Oh, she did.
She home. Of course, she's a rich white woman. What you think? She in jail?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Silly me.
You fool. So Antron's mom relays the story of how she had checked in on Michael K. Williams' character and realized like he wasn't doing well, and so she told him to come on home. And then she explains he had kidney failure and all this other stuff. So she's been taking care of him. How do you guys feel about like if Michael K. Williams is your father and he did what he did? Would you forgive him, knowing that he was trying to protect you?
I can hold a grudge.
Right.
Nigga, I'm 39. I don't talk to my dad at all. He lived 3 minutes. He lived 3 minutes up the street.
Knowing that he was trying to protect me, and then when he went on stage, when he went on fucking on the stand, he fucked my shit all the way up. I don't talk to my real father now. I learned some shit a couple weeks ago about that nigga that I did not know in the past.
Oops.
Yeah, that didn't help. I don't know. I don't think so. Like, he didn't see me in prison. Well, he didn't come to see me in jail either. Like, not that I would have wanted his ass to see.
that is something that they don't dig that much into.
They don't say if he actually came, but I'm like, they're just kind of alluding that he didn't.
I'm gonna take your point that he didn't come.
Nah, suck my dick, nigga.
Yeah, that's where you go.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm like, hey, I see you sick and all that, but like,
nigga, I was sick for 6 years.
Like, karma, nigga. Like, I don't know. Again, I can hold a grudge. I don't like to, but like,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know if I'd be able to just like forgive. I'm not Christian. I don't follow the like forgiveness bullshit.
Bullshit.
Then again, like they say, like if you don't forgive, that shit weighs on your heart, and that's true to a certain extent.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, yo.
I mean, look.
You don't talk to your father.
I feel okay about it.
Sure, you do, but I mean, they say like if you don't you don't talk to your father now. I get it.
Oh, you'll regret it.
You gonna talk to him on his deathbed?
I get. It's like that Keenan.
I'll go to his funeral just to make sure that nigga did.
But yeah, I mean, it does something to you. It does. Like you can.
I think it matters. And by the way, I'm not judging your actual point. I think it matters in what the circumstances.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, and like a holding grudges, it's like negative energy.
Yeah, it is.
That you kind of want to like, but sometimes like, sometimes you need that negative energy.
Sometimes, like for me,
how would you know what positive energy is if you don't have negative energy?
That's how I live my life. Yeah. How would you know a good day unless you had several bad?
Right. Sometimes you need some of that negativity in your life.
Look,
I don't good days to be even better.
Look, I don't think that Will Smith was wrong when he was like, "I'm gonna be a better dad than he ever was" in that fucking emotional ass scene from Fresh Prince. Sometimes the shit fuels you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm serious. Like, somebody, a close friend, I was like, "Oh, I think you'll regret it." And she had to, piece her shit up with her dad. And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't think I will." Because I have reached out. And there's certain times where you're like, I'm tired of being the adult in this I'm the child and you're the adult situation.
That's my thing. That's my whole thing. I'm like, I am your child.
I am your child.
Like, I'm your kid. Like, if you want to reach out, come to me. But then, like, my therapist is like, maybe you should be the one to do it. I'm like, but I don't want to. Kind of thing.
Like, bitch, I pay you. You're supposed to be on my team.
Like, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Like, well, I mean, again, and she was like, yeah, that negativity can, I'm like, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. But
I'm not listening.
Like, I'm listening. No, I hear you. Like, you listening, but what it does?
Like, you listen, but you can't hear me.
That's what it's like with my Denzel Washington training.
No, you're not listening, Rose. You're not listening.
You listening, but you don't hear me. Like, I get it. I get what you're saying. But again, I'm stubborn. Fuck you. Kind of thing. So, I don't know. Like, it does carry a little bit of negative energy, but
it can.
I don't know if I would be able to. I don't. I really don't.
Yo, he spent how many years in jail? 6?
Like 6 or 7, yeah.
I don't know. You know what I would have to hear? I would have to hear a really heartfelt apology that you fucked up. Right? Because he didn't do what he did. He didn't do what he did. Like, he didn't just not give a fuck. Because that's different. He did what he thought was right.
Yeah.
And
he didn't mean to fuck his life up.
Right. And that's where I think maybe I could forgive my father if that was a situation. Now, my dad, me, myself personally, my father, it was not like that. Yeah. Right? The things that he did were things like they weren't out of protection for me. You know what I mean? It's like there was no consideration of me. Right? So to me, it's a little bit harder for me to go, all right, yo, you was trying, my nigga. Like, no, but you weren't trying. Like, you were purposely going the opposite direction. Like, and then I was supposed to come to you and be like, Father, let's patch it up. Nah,
nigga, that's my thing. Like, I should be the bigger man, but like, I'm taller. But like,
damn, I'm not. That's fucked up.
But like, eventually, maybe someday, but like, nigga, you the older one, yo. You like 50. I don't know, he was 5 years older than my mama, but and she was 16. So there's that I didn't know.
That's problematic.
It's very much so. But it is what it is. I don't know. It
was a different time.
How much different?
Not that different.
That was fucking 38 years ago. No, stop it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, it's just very hard to separate good intentions with outcome, and I think that's Antron's issue.
Yeah.
But you might have been good intention, and of course you were, but at the same time, your job is to protect your kids. And he fucked up. He made a bad call, and it's just. I would hope that my daughter could forgive me if I made a bad call.
I think his biggest issue was the fact that he just did not come to court.
Yeah, he didn't show up.
He didn't show up. He showed up at the very end and fucked everything up. Like, if he was there with him every day or tried to be there every day, I don't think he would hate his father as much as he did.
That's a good point.
So, maybe fucked me over, but, you could have been there.
You fucked it up, and then you just let me burn.
Left.
Yeah, you just let me burn.
Yeah. You didn't come to visit me in jail.
Yeah, no, if I got a kid, nah. I'm going to see my kid every opportunity I get.
Right.
I whatever it took to see them, I would fucking get an apartment. I'd move closer. There is no level of space that I would not go. There's no length that I wouldn't go to protect my kid. It's just not.
All right, and then I'm gonna bring this back to the Khalif Browder story really quick. His mom had serious heart issues. She's no longer alive. She died. Not that much. Not that later than after he died. After he murdered himself, she died maybe 2 years later.
Yeah, she probably broke hearted too.
Yeah, she had heart issues. She didn't drive or anything but she made sure she was there every week.
Jesus.
She took the bus. It took her 6 hours round trip to go to see him and then come back from. Yeah, it was. But she went to see her son whenever she possibly could. Fucked up health issues and all. So
yeah,
that's not
the length parents will go to protect their children is an amazing feat. Micah, your thoughts? Could you forgive your father if he did something like this, or a fictional father? It doesn't have to be your dad. I don't know. But for interest and fun listening, what about your dad? What if your dad did this?
I mean, probably not. No. Because you can't come in. You even said it in episode 2, right? It's right. Now you come in,
try to save the day.
Try to save the day. No, that's not. Where were you, days ago? Where were you? You fucked up, fine. But if you try to, as long as I see you trying to help, and even then, don't try too hard because that's, that's how I'm in this situation to begin with.
Yeah, go sit down. Go sit down.
Just show up and sit there and don't say nothing, right? I don't know. I would find it very difficult, and I know the first thing, Christianity says you gotta love thy neighbor and forgiveness and all that. And I'm like, nah,
No, I don't.
That's very difficult for me. I'm for you people who believe in astrology, I'm a Cancer. We're emotional basket cases. We love you if you love us. And if you don't love us, fuck you forever.
Wow.
That's just how it is, man.
It's really funny because astrology isn't a thing.
It isn't. But at the same time,
I'm amazed at how many people believe
it. It's weird because it's not, but sometimes when you
some of that shit
sometimes you're an introvert, but sometimes you're also an extrovert.
I'm not talking about you're gonna see this and this is gonna happen to you. No, but I'm talking about personality wise, right? Sure. I know people born in July that are fucking sometimes. Yeah, I know people that are born in July that are fucking crazy. Over emotional as shit.
I wasn't born in July.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about me.
Oh, okay.
I'm born in March. I'm a Pisces, but I'm on the cusp. So a lot of the things they talk about as Pisces are super emotional. We're in our own world. I'm to a certain
maybe this astrology
thing's got some point.
Don't look at me, Mike. To a certain extent, watch your mouth.
To a certain extent, Like you wear your heart on your sleeve type thing. That
does not sound like me
shit.
at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, not me either.
No,
But, like,
I'm kidding. That is definitely me.
you? Oh, it's not me. It's not me. But like at the end, like, but I'm on like the next sign, whatever the fuck it is. It's the 21st. I was born on the 19th. Yeah. So it's like I'm a cusp sign, whatever the fuck that shit means. I don't know none of the signs. I just know mine. That's it.
Vertigo?
And I know Scorpio. That's about it. But Vulture? Yeah, it's sometimes that shit be on point. I'll be like, yo, I don't like this shit. Yo, fuck you. Get out of my life.
Yeah, you don't know me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not an emotional basket case. Fuck you. Random.
Fuck you forever.
Like, yeah, this all makes sense. So Antron again is pretty much, he's resigned himself to the fact that like he's not going to take care of his father. He was like, he abandoned us like in the worst fucking situation. So nah, fuck him. Yeah. Next we see Raymond. He's now getting a little older. And then we sort of fast forward just a little bit. They show him calling all the time, and they pick some swole ass Latin nigga to play him.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Raymond got the best casting of all time, yo.
I'm very curious if he was in the casting room.
Like Raymond was like.
No, this guy can play.
That's me right
like
there.
That nigga. Raymond looked like fucking Big Pun, but like 200 pounds lighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy looked like Big Pun before he got big.
Right. Yeah. And then fucking Al B. Short days and shit.
Yeah, I was like, yo, come on, yo.
Nigga don't look nothing like me, but you know what? It's fine. It's cool. Oh, pretty Ricky looking ass nigga.
And then it's like, they're like, these are the actors we brought in to play. It's like, yo, this nigga gonna be me. Yo. He was a dude working craft services. He wasn't even trying to be in the movie.
I think the nigga,
that handsome black nigga over there, that's me.
Is a model because this is his first fucking.
Yeah,
well, all right, come on, yo.
Shout out to the real Raymond. You definitely picked this dude. I ain't even mad at you, yo. He's like, nah, that dude with the six pack, he could be me. Hey, nigga, you ain't never had no. I used to have one. I used to have a six pack.
Yeah, I had a six pack. How you think I got this gut?
That shit is just funny. I was just like, yo, this guy is like really very handsome. But like, especially when they show the real Raymond at the end, I was like, God.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy supposed to?
It was just funny. I ain't mad about it, but this shit was just hilarious. So Raymond gets home and. Like, he literally caught the bus back into Harlem, right? So, like, he's walking up, and he sees, he walks back up to his block. He sees his building or whatever, which has got to be the most bizarre thing. To be in jail for, like, 7 years, and then, like, can you imagine, like, you just locked in this basement for 7 years, and then you just walk outside, and then just go home, and it's like, all these things have changed, right? Yeah. Like, the entire world has changed in 7 years.
What the fuck are CDs?
Right, like they would have just heard of them when they went into jail. Like, oh, there's a new thing called a compact disc, and then you're just gone. You're just off the grid for 7 years, and you come back and everyone's using them, right? So his father comes out and he sees him, and they hug and they have an emotional moment, which was really beautiful, actually. I thought. And he's like, "Wow, you're way more handsome than I thought you would be. That's crazy." And so they go back to his apartment, and we see that John Leguizamo has remarried.
Yeah, Dasha Blanco. I was like,
all right now.
Look, this is a really fucked up story, but hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah. Again. Okay.
Like, hey,
I see you doing well for yourself, Dad.
Right. Don't worry about that. Like, all right, nigga.
You doing just fine. You doing just fine. John Leguizamo, you mad old nigga. Come on, knock it off. So he comes in and she's like, yo, she is not buying
Raymond.
Raymond.
Not with the shit. She's like, fuck this rapist. Get this nigga out of my goddamn house. Like, god damn.
Yo, because he was like, hey, like Raymond's like a really nice guy. He's like, hey, how you doing? She was like, uh-huh.
Right.
And just like, even John Leguizamo was like, damn, that's it? Like, for real? And she was like, what? He was like, never mind, you're right. Like, he was like,
and there's way too many kids in this fucking.
No, yo, that would make me,
I would lose my fucking mind.
I start throwing them little kids right the fuck out. Yo, get out of my apartment. I just got out. Mad. So yeah, it's like it's just fucking mad kids. Everybody's running around. You find out that Dasha, she's like that's her family or whatever. They don't live there, but it's just like mad people there. And Raymond just looks. He's just very out of place. Like both they don't have enough room for him physically or figuratively, right? Or literally or figuratively. There's just not any space. Wow. Sorry. She just walked across the screen. Anyway, I'm a fan. This is the only reason to watch Orange is the New Black for a minute.
She's off that show now, isn't she?
The whole show is over. Who
They
cares?
still got a season left.
I gave up after like 3 seasons.
I gave up at the season 3. I gave up at when she was gone.
Oh, Pusey was that?
Yeah.
I ain't make it that far. I was just like,
I'm done, yo.
I'm out. So then we see Corey's mom is trying to. She's meeting with the other mother. She's meeting with Yusef's mother and with. Let's see, it's Youssef and I want to say not Antron's mom, Kevin's mother, and so. She's meeting with them, and there's this like rift between Yusef's mom and Corey's mom because stop looking at fucking Dasha, you asshole. Understandable.
Let me turn this off.
But there's a rift between Yusef's mom and Corey's mom because, which is weird because Yusef's mother is trying to protect him and trying to get him out, but Corey's mom feels a way about it because she's like, "Yo, my son went down there to." Protect your son.
Yeah, to like be there for your son. And she's
like,
just kind of being a bitch about it. I mean, I get the situation, but like...
Yeah, I felt kind of a way about it. I was like...
You're being an asshole right now.
Yeah, and so she's like, look, they got Corey in all these different jails and all this other shit because he's the only one who went to adult prison, right? And they were like, can you get Youssef to send Corey a letter? Because like he asked about him, and that's his buddy. Like,
right.
And she's like, well, they're not allowed to talk to each other because they're both felons and they can't do this and stuff like that, which is true, right? Like that's true. I mean, that is the law. But like, there's the law, but then there's humanity, right? And so she's like, look, why don't you get Youssef to write a letter, give it to you, you give it to me, I'll give it to Corey. It doesn't have to be anything like it's not like, yo, here's a file to sneak out of jail. Like, nigga, I miss you, dog. Like, like something. Like if I went to jail and 2 of you niggas ain't even right, yo, fuck y'all, yo. Like, that's how I'd feel, yo. I'd be like, nah, yo. Like y'all can't even ask, like, can't put no money on my books, nothing.
Like I'm broke, nigga.
Well, I would expect that from your ass. Just a letter. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. All right, here you go. I'm like, oh, look, Terrence is doing fine. That's the only letter I get.
How much is noodles in prison?
It can't be that expensive. Well, I don't know. She said it costs $25 to make a 10-minute phone call.
Well, yeah, that's because you never had a collect call from prison before?
Never
mind.
No.
I have.
Who is one of Preston Street folks?
I mean, not Preston Street, but yeah.
I've had a collect call.
It's not,
That ain't cheap.
a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. That's why people are like,
make it fast.
Like,
make it fast.
Sneak this fucking cell phone in that motherfucker. I ain't trying to like, get out of here. They're not cheap. They really are not.
Wow.
$25 for fucking 10 minutes.
That is insane.
That's crazy.
By the way, those calls should be free. They should just be free. Who cares? Like, why are we making people pay to talk to their fucking family? Like, all right, I'm in jail. Can I just at least talk to my family? Just limit the time.
It's like, and they have to kind of fight for the phone time, yo.
Yeah. I would just be like, all right.
They get beat the fuck up at the phone.
Yeah, I'd be like, cool. Everybody gets a max of 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I mean, you can make it 5 minutes, but like those calls shouldn't cost the family
$3 a minute.
Like, come on, that's nuts. Hey, by the way, presidential candidates, here's a thing that you could fix, right? This is a pretty easy one. The fucking calls are free. Fuck off.
Like there's a lot of privatized prisons now.
Well, fuck those, yo. Fuck those prisons. Fuck them. They're like, nah, yo, this is the rule. It's a rule now. Fuck it. Laws don't matter anymore. Right? The president does whatever he wants. I'm making jail calls free. You're welcome, President J said so. Like, come on now. God damn, we could do the minimum of things. So again, Yusef's mom is acting like a real asshole about it. And again, you can understand her perspective because she's trying to protect her son. But at the same time, like, yo, come on.
But shit, like the weird thing is like they had that rift since like episode 2. I'm like,
yeah, when they were dealing with the lawyers too.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes, look.
What's your fucking problem?
She's on brand. She's always been like, look,
Right.
nah, we want Yusef to have a separate trial.
Yeah, because she was basically like, Yusef never signed anything saying that he did this stuff.
Yeah, because she
Your
was
kids
the
did.
only one that came in and was like, nah,
Right.
fuck this shit. She
It's like-
stopped it from happening, but at the same time,
was
like,
about
come on,
to.
yo.
Right, like you can't
He was sitting there
understand.
like,
Right, like
with
you
the
can't
pen in
understand.
hand.
But the thing is, like, you can't understand how, like, if you were 10 minutes later,
Yeah, you'd have been in the exact
Same-
same fucking situation.
like, yo, again,
But I see her point though, right? Like, nah,
I'm just trying to get my
I gotta
kid
look out for mine, man. I look out for
I
me
mean,
and
I
mine.
understand.
I get it, but I get it to a point. You know
I
what
get
I mean?
it, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. Like, I probably would still be like, nah,
trying to get
we're
us
gonna be
caught up.
over here. But I feel for you, girl. But nah, we
That's
gonna
all.
be
That's
over
all you got for her.
here. That's all I got. And look, it's better than what she was dishing out.
Yeah, she was like, "And nigga, so
Right.
who?"
I probably gave him the letter though. I mean, God,
like,
damn.
That's what I'm saying, yo.
Hey, Jesus
I sneak him
Christ.
a letter. Like, god damn. Like, look, don't even say it's from Corey. Just be like, or like you said, be like, Brian.
And make Corey an anagram or some shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
like,
mean?
yeah, come on, you could do something. Like,
Like Rico, RYC. like mix the letters up.
like who is this? I don't even know this person. Yeah, something. Man.
RYCEO. Rico.
It's my cousin. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
that shit fucked up to me. But then like the next scene, she's talking to Youssef, and he's like, "Yo, I feel like
he was.
I
he
haven't
was
heard
right.
anything from Corey in like forever."
She's like, yo, that's why I haven't heard
That's
anything
crazy,
either.
for
Like,
real. Oh, that's crazy. Though.
Yeah, that's fucked up. So,
damn, it'd be
Muslim
crazy.
people.
He should have wrote you a letter. Like,
for
what the
real.
fuck? yo?
That's, I told you that bitch crazy.
Yeah, and she even admits she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, we got a little bit of static between, like the moms do. It was like, yeah, and so you know, we do see Youssef, meeting with his mom. He's
He's a Muslim now.
he's a Muslim now.
No more
Well,
dope
I'm sure he
games.
was Muslim before. The name,
shut up.
was that?
He missed it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. So he's kind of rolling with all the Muslim folks in there, which is keeping him safe. By the way, you'll know that I'm in jail because I will become Muslim. 100%.
I mean, look, you need a gang.
Hey,
man.
yeah,
You need,
I mean,
you need
look,
to watch
look.
your back.
Look. Happy to toe the party line. Don't want to get raped. Sorry. So look, Joe. Look. And look, this video will come back to damage me if they ever hear that. They'll be like, this nigga's lying. That's true. But yo, I am joining the Muslim Brotherhood or whatever I gotta join. Please don't beat me up or rape me. I need protection. Like, I just do. Yo, alaikum salam, my nigga. Like, whatever. Please. Just don't hurt me. So Yusef asks his mom, like, how's work going? And we get a flash to Yusef's mom losing her job because of the allegations against her son. Like, people find out she works there, and so they're like, you know, let me rephrase that. White people find out that she works there and are leaving messages like, you know, I'm not going to use your company because this rapist mom works there. And I was like, yo, she didn't do anything. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, but she raised a rapist.
Okay. Yeah, well.
Because logic. Okay.
Because fucking Donald Trump's parents raised this punk ass. Like, what the fuck?
And he's a rapist too. So, you know, I mean.
Ding. So, yeah, Yusef does mention that he is concerned about Corey. Obviously, his mom is like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, then we see Kevin's family. They come to see him. His sister relays what I thought was a very sweet story about her. You know, she works at like a car rental place, and she meets this guy, and it was like the one light part of this whole this whole. I was like, oh, and like he's gonna come and be like, and this is my fiance, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be like a nice like little thing. Nah, nigga, it ain't. Like, fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
she's fucking at the car rental place, and Deacon walks in the door. He's like, hey, can I get a car?
It's like, hey, Are you on drugs?
I only fuck with heroin.
Oh. You ain't never gonna let that happen. Not
that
with
shit
me.
is fucking.
Yeah, go back and listen to episode 156.
God damn, that's some funny ass shit, man.
Clown ass nigga. So she relays a story about how she works at this car rental place, and this guy comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, I need to rent a minivan for the weekend," and she's like, "Oh," it reminded me like of a story version of a non-music story version of that Alicia Keys song where she's like working in the diner.
You don't know my name.
Yeah. It's like the same story. And so he's like, let me rent a minivan, and they're clearly smitten with each other.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's perfect for the whole family, for the wife. And he's like, or to take my grandmother and her friends up to like a bingo night kind of thing. And so she smiles. She's like, oh shit, dude, Deacon's single. And so she says she waits like the whole weekend for him to come back, and like she's like super into this guy, and the guy asks her out, and she's like, no. And
Kevin was like, nigga, what?
Yo, what kind of fucking story is
What kind of story is that?
that kid? By the way, I don't know where that kid is from, but that kid does a New York accent pretty amazingly.
Ain't he from Baltimore?
PG County.
Is he really? His New York
He's not from
accent.
Baltimore. He's from PG County.
His New York accent is really good. Yeah, it's very, very good. And to the point where I was like, that kid's like, he's from Harlem, right? Like, yeah, this shit was stellar. But so she's basically like, it just kind of whips you back from that story into reality again. It was like, no, I didn't do it because I didn't think I deserved that.
I didn't feel like I deserved to have fun with you
with
being
you in
here.
here. And I was just like, damn. And he was just like, okay.
This is
like,
a real fucked up story.
Yeah, like
Thanks,
what the
sis.
Thanks, sister.
yeah, god damn. But then they made the point of, she was saying that going out with a guy like that or meeting somebody like that is something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And you need to find something that you can look forward to get you through this time. Right. And like, again, that was so well done in making it like ripping you back into reality, but then building you back up again.
Yeah.
Like all within like 3.5 minutes. I was just like,
I'm near to stop playing with my emotions. Ava DuVernay. I'm near to stop playing with my emotions.
No, yo, this is 4 episodes of master puppetry, right? Like,
Right.
no, she is just playing the audience. Like, it's kind of amazing how well she does it. So
And they also bring up the point where like he and Yusef are in the same place, and like since Yusef is now in like the Muslim, like they kind of like separated a little bit.
yeah, and he doesn't have anybody.
Yeah, he doesn't have a gang or wherever to associate with, and his mother's like, Yusef has his religion. That's what he has to look forward to, and what you have to look forward to is finally getting out of this fucking place, or you have to find something to look forward to so you can get through this. But his sister still ended up going out with that nigga. Like, for real. Like, I ain't gonna pass this shit up.
Yeah, knock it off. So then it immediately fast forwards, like you see Kevin walk off, and then immediately fast forwards to
He and his sister in the car.
right. So he's out.
Home, right.
I like how putting on glasses all of a
Made her
sudden
what?
ages you a decade.
Nah, stop it.
Yeah, nah, your sister's still fine, dog.
Yeah.
She's super fun. She went to the same she got picked up in the same cast in school as William.
I'm like, that's not a 2000. I mean, that's not a 1998 hairstyle. Cut it out.
No, she had like a little bit of like an Alicia Keys kind of thing going, or not Alicia Keys, Aaliyah thing going on. Minus the pedophilia. So then we're.
I always look to see how accurate they are when it comes to like outside shit in movies to see what kind of cars people are driving, and I'm like, I think they did a pretty good job of making it like 1998.
Yo, she's driving like a Honda Civic.
I mean, that's accurate.
Yeah,
that's about a 90.
But at the same time, like Honda Civic is like, there haven't been too many advancements in civic
Right.
technology.
Like the Civics haven't advanced. They really didn't start looking different till like 2008.
right.
Like them shit looked the same for like 30 years.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So she drops him off at some sort of meeting where he has to then go in and declare
and
that he's
register as a fucking sex offender.
sex offender. Again,
Ugh.
if you learn nothing, please don't pee in public. Like, please don't. Like, don't fuck your life up. I'm serious. Yo, I'm serious about that shit. Like, it's not a joke. They will fuck your life up for no goddamn reason. So then we see, like, his sister. She basically that story and then the drive. She expresses like her guilt, right? Like she feels really guilty because she wasn't able to help him, or she fucked up, right? But it's sort of juxtaposed to Antron's father, who was trying to help him and fucked up, like his reaction to it versus Kevin's reaction to his sister fucking up as well. But because his sister was there all the time, I think that goes to the point you were making earlier. She's there the whole time with him,
right,
going through it. He doesn't hate her at all. Like, right? That's just his sister. All right, you fucked up. We didn't know. Like, right. You know, obviously I forgive you. Right? They're just as close as they ever were. So then we see Raymond is sort of fighting to gain employment. But
he cuts to him in his PO,
right?
And he explains what he has to do. He has to come to the courthouse every 90 days for the rest of his life. He has a curfew for the first however many years of getting out of prison. He's never filled out an application before because he went in before he ever got a fucking job. So his life is all fucked up.
He doesn't know anything about being an adult.
Anything. Right. It's fucking crazy. Like, and he has to like every 90 days for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Good luck. Like traveling.
Yo, come on, yo.
Yeah.
That's fucking rough, dude.
Yeah. It is.
He's like, so what am I supposed to fucking do?
Well, and then they're sitting in the restaurant where he's explaining because he's a Schedule 3 sex offender.
Yeah, he can't
associate with other felons.
Can't associate with felons, kids.
Right. And he's like, where the fuck am I supposed to
What am I
work?
supposed to do?
Right? Because he can't associate with another felon even if he doesn't know they're another felon. Yo, what the fuck kind of rules are those? Like, I'm at my job and I have no idea this guy I'm working next to is a felon. Oh, then I get arrested. Yo, that's a setup, yo. That's a setup. This is wild. So he can't work around kids. He can't work like after 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. or something like that because he has to be.
He has a curfew.
He has a curfew, so he has to be in the house. Like, yo, they make it so the box that you can live in is this fucking big. Yeah. This big, and then they go, okay, now go back out there and live your life and be totally normal.
Yeah, he can't be around any children that's not family. He can't work with other sex offenders. He has to. He can't work with other felons. He has to check that box. He said if he doesn't check the box, and he puts you with that dude with the felon, you go back to jail. Just roll for rip.
Yep.
No excuses. Like, so essentially, y'all just built this for me to go back to jail.
Yes. That's what
you're telling me.
Right, because jail is nothing but modern day slavery.
It's free labor, yeah.
Yes, free labor.
Well, not free. They get 49 cents an hour. Right.
That shit ain't even close to minimum wage.
Yeah.
I mean, the recidivism conversation here needs to happen, right? Which is they are, even though they are let out of jail because they serve their time. Now, granted, they're obviously innocent, but they are so boxed in. Like, what happens with Raymond?
You don't give them a chance. You literally put every single obstacle as possible in front of these people when they get out. So, like, for them to go back, it's easier for them to go back than to stay out of prison.
So, are you guys aware of the ban? Are you guys aware of the ban the box law?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So for those listening or watching who don't know, basically it's a law that says you, like, job applications in those specific states won't ask, are you a felon?
Yeah, they take that box off.
Right, because
it's not there anymore.
Right. Now, you as an employer, you could do a background check and then you could decide whether or not you want to hire that person. That's fine. But it just gives people who are former felons, it gives them a chance to actually get a job, right?
Right.
So there are a number of states that have done it. As of April of 2018, 31 states have implemented ban the box regulations. 31. That's not bad.
I don't think Maryland has. I think I still see that box.
The following states have implemented laws for public employees only. Maryland is one of them.
Okay, public. All right.
Yeah. So But private employers is California, Colorado, Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. So look, if you are a an ex-con or former felon, whichever term you prefer, those are the states you want to. If you're having trouble with employment, those are the states you want to live in because you could at least get a chance. You at least have a chance, and then you're not relegated to just like sweeping up a fucking warehouse.
Yeah,
at 2 a.m. You can actually get yourself back on your feet. But if you want to work for the state, Maryland's a good place as any. Look again. At least you get a fucking chance. So just quickly, the ones for public employees that implement ban the box: Arizona, which is shocking, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So, and then there's a number of cities specifically that have done ban the box, but that's over 100 cities. I'm not gonna obviously go through those. So do your research, especially if you go through this kind of stuff, or you have somebody who is going through this, right? Family members. Yeah. So the ban the box thing is like a big part of this conversation, really. Then we see Yusef. He's at a barbershop, and he's having a conversation. He's having a conversation with the people there, and they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? With your life?" And he's like, "Oh, I want to be a teacher or whatever." And they're like, "As an ex-felon?" Like, "No, you're not." Like, and he just kind of comes to that realization while he's getting his haircut that he's boxed in as well. And Yusef, I mean, he's clearly
He's the smartest.
He's the smartest one, right? I was trying not to be. Like,
he's the intellectual.
Yeah.
I think there's a better way of.
Yeah, because I think he really studied while he was in jail and stuff like that too. Yeah. So he's somehow able to finagle his way into like a pretty decent job, by the way. I mean, by the time he gets exonerated, he's working at Starbucks. But like, dude was like, had a computer job at one point. He was like, "How'd you get it?" He was like, "I lied." Do you know anything about this? Nope,
not a goddamn thing.
He was like, "And I learned that shit." Like, all right, I'm good now. He kind of just comes to that realization, which I think he was really kind of distraught about as well, understandably. We cut back to Raymond, who's the largest focus of this episode.
Yeah.
Because recidivism is a big part of this. Raymond is at a convenience store and he runs into the woman from Pariah. I forget her name. And this other dude, they were both activists who were fighting for all 5 boys back during the trial. And so they were happy to see him. And they talked to him and, said, look, he thanked them for helping his dad out with protesting and money and everything else while they were going through all that shit. And they said, look, that's what a community does. And that's dope because they're black and he's not black. Right. Yeah. And it's just like, you're part of the community and you were innocent. Like, just fucking helping young kids. So, that was good because they kind of pop up a little bit later. And, they're talking to him about like, look, this system is designed to put you back in jail. Don't go back. And Raymond's like, look, I'm not going back to jail. So, more on that later. Which is unfortunate. Then Raymond, he has this whole conversation about how he was talking to this woman while he was in jail, and he basically broke up with her just because he didn't want to pull her into this life while he was in jail. And then when he got out, he was like, look, he went to her, he apologized, like, look, I care for you very much. I'm sorry about what I did. It would be pretty wild to date somebody in jail also with the story behind why Raymond is in jail. Like, that's rough. That's a little rough. But yeah, she believed in him. So shout out to her because she was fucking right. And so, he's with her when Dasha and this other woman come home and they start screaming and they're like, look at this asshole. He's got a girl in there. I'm like, I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah, there was a scene you skipped before when he was getting some food and like Dasha and her mother were like yelling at him.
Yeah,
and that's
she
when he
called
got
him a
like super
rapist.
fucking pissed.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
All right.
And like he like, nah, I'm back in jail now. I'm about to knock your ass out. Like, but his father was like, yo, come on, you gotta.
Yeah,
and his father like, don't provoke him. I'm like, what? Like,
but
he had to say all that, yo.
I mean, he was reacting like he would react in jail.
Yeah, like I would too. You're like, don't call me a rapist. I didn't do. Again,
Right.
that's just me. Don't fucking say some shit I didn't do.
Right.
I might fucking flip out. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Now, I did find it
No problem
interesting.
for me.
No, I mean, it's understandable. But I did find it interesting when they run out of the apartment and literally Raven is out there in his fucking boxers. And his girlfriend is like, I'm out, like I'm done. He stops her and she's like, I can't do this and stuff like that. His reaction is like that of a child. He's like, come on, yo, like please, like come on. And also, I thought about this when I was watching. I was like, that's probably because he's never had sex either.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? You're like, yo, this is it, and Dasha's like, get out. You're like, fuck.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, you're ruining this for me. Like, I thought about that. I was like, the reaction is not really that insane. Seems pretty reasonable to me.
And here's the thing: like, he went in at 15. He was only in for 6 years. He's 21.
Yeah. But you 21, dog.
You 21 and you ain't never had sex.
Yeah, your hormones are raging.
Like,
Your
Yeah,
hormones.
what a loser, right? 19, that's when you're supposed to lose it.
look. It wasn't his fault.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Then we cut to Antron, and his girlfriend. Look, I ain't like this bitch from the jump. I didn't. Yeah, you put some respect on Antron. Knock it off. No, I didn't care for her attitude. But no, I'm kidding. But like Antron, he's like trying to pay. They're getting food on the street, and like he clearly don't have a lot of money. Like he's trying to save his money, and she's like, she's giving him a stink eye because
How come you don't take me out nowhere? Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to save my money
to go to
I can
school,
better myself. You know, the important things are like, oh, I'm not important. Like, oh, shit. As soon as he said, for the important shit, I was like, nah, bro. You've been out of society for a long time.
Yeah, the dating rules have become different. You can't just say shit like that. Nuance is dead.
He said, I'm not spending money on stuff that don't matter. It's like, I ain't mean it like that.
What happened was,
Like, look, I'm talking about food matters, but like school, yo. Like I've been out for a while, yo. Leave me alone.
but yeah, so she flipped out and she was like, yeah, you make $300. He was like, every 2 weeks, like that's not a lot of money. And he was like, I give my mom $100 and I try to save $100. So I got $100 to spend. In $100 every 2 weeks. Yo, I starved to death, yo. Are you kidding me?
Then she just flips out. It's like, oh, this is how you treat women, you felon. I'm like, you ain't have to say all that.
Yo, she was like,
Like,
and that's
you
how you
really
treated
didn't have
that
to say all
white
that
woman.
shit, yeah.
Yo, she threw that shit right in his face, yo. I was like, come on now.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. One of one things is true here in this situation. She doesn't believe that he raped this woman, hence why she's dating him, right? Like, I believe your story. But then when you get into an argument, you're gonna go and use the dirtiest fucking thing you can
that's
say to
fucked
him.
up, yeah.
That is not a person you should be with. And look, to his credit, he handled that shit like a champ.
He handled it way better than I would. I'd have gave it the classic, well, fuck you then, bitch.
Yeah.
Better get out of my face.
Yeah, because he
can't.
He was just like, if you don't want to see me again,
That's cool.
I get it. I'm out.
He's like,
Right.
that's cool. Because what else is he gonna do?
Right. You can't
Because
come
he's gonna
out.
go to fucking jail.
Right.
Yeah. Like he was like, nah, that shit ain't worth it.
He's like, I want to knock your teeth out, but I can't.
And I gotta be nice because,
And I can't yell.
I can't yell at you. So,
'Cause,
sometimes
you might call the cops on me.
sometimes you gotta eat a shit sandwich, man.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes you do. Yo, like, you do. Look, sometimes you do.
Asshole. Yeah.
I mean, look, sometimes you got to be nice to women, even if you don't like them.
Yeah. No, look. Yo, she was like, you acting like a fucking inmate. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I've got to go. I've got to go. Like, I got to get out of here.
Time to walk away.
Yeah. Deuces.
You can either have your pride and be fucked up, or you can swallow that shit and live to,
To fight another
see
day.
your family and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because he could have cooked out and someone would be like, this nigga's wildin'. And then they locked his ass right up. Yo, nope. Yo, she was like, that's how you treated that woman. I'd been like,
Oh, jeez.
like, I know that the statement didn't really exist back then, but I'd be like, my nigga, what are you doing? Yo, what are you doing, yo? What are we doing? Knock it off. Yeah, so Antron kept his fucking cool.
Good for Antron.
Yeah. Antron is an adult. So Antron gets home and he sees his father trying to get up and he almost falls over and like he helps him back into bed.
Yeah.
And it's the one moment like I thought that it was a level of forgiveness.
Yeah, me too.
Nah.
No, it isn't.
No,
it really ain't.
It was just a moment of just vulnerability
God, this thing's all fucked up.
and he literally Antron's father literally like holds him and Antron just starts crying. And I was like, damn, that's a powerful ass like moment to like come together. Nah. Antron was like, I've recognized that you're going to die. Like that was basically it. Like, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And I truly hope that I do not have to see my father on his deathbed. I truly don't. I don't want to. Like, and it's not like, that's not some like mean thing. I don't want some deathbed confessional type of shit. I don't.
No. Yeah.
No, like that's, no, like that. I understand why people would weirdly want that because you feel like you could say whatever. I'm like, say whatever now. My nigga, like, but you know what I mean? Like, talk to me when we're both healthy adults and we can have a conversation.
Well, look, I mean, maybe this is controversial, but I truly believe this. They do it because, they want to purge all their sins
Nah, nice
at
try,
the
nigga.
last minute.
No, I'm an atheist. Nah, you don't get the style. You don't get style points on me at the end. No,
And
Yeah.
it's
give me my
like,
flowers now.
hey, do you forgive me? So that, they can go up.
Go to hell.
Go up and go up to God and be like, see, I begged for forgiveness and all that.
Yeah, but what if I was just like, no? Does that count? Look, I don't know because I don't
How does
subscribe
that
to
work?
it. Yeah,
if I'm like ask for forgiveness for is like eat my ass, they're like no, and just walk out.
yeah.
Then what?
Like, what if I do a Rorschach? Like, you cry out to me, and I'm like, no. Like, what happens? Because I know, like, I was talking to my neighbor. He was like, yo, and like in Judaism, he was like, if they ask you and you're like, no. They just got to keep asking you. Like, that's an amazing fucking. I was like, yo, that's dope as shit. Like, nah.
That's funny.
Like, and I think they have to ask like 3 times.
What happens if you say no 3 times?
Like, if you say no 3 times, but they legitimately ask, then God is like, you tried.
No, you tried.
Like you gave it to your college try.
Yeah.
But I'll let you in.
Like, I feel like you should. I think it's like 3 times or 4 times. I would say no the first 2 or 3 times, and then they'd be like, no. I'd be like, you thought I was. You thought,
Bitch, you thought. Oh, that's
you gonna say it this
fucked
one
up.
last time? Nah. I feel like I guess if I was religious, I feel like if I'm God, wow, listen to me. I feel like if I'm God, if you gave it the old college try,
Yeah, if you really, really meant that shit.
Yeah, I'll let you- I'll let you.
I know your heart.
yeah.
God
But like
knows
that
my
other
heart.
nigga, he ain't gotta say yes or no. Like,
Yeah,
nah, he fucked him over.
He legitimately don't like your ass.
like,
this is it.
yo, I looked at the DVD of your life, put the DVD in. Nah, yo, on
Like,
the
nah, he
stage,
don't
he
like your
fucked up,
ass.
my nigga. Like, he got the right to be mad.
It's like, just like I know yours, I know his. That nigga don't rock with you. Like, but you tried. So
I tried to tell him. I
it
tried.
is what it is.
I sent the goat. I sent the ram. There was a ram in the bush. And he ain't worry about it. Religious stories are bonkers. So Raymond sees one of his buddies who works like UPS or something, and his buddy's like, "Yo, here's the keys, my man. Go in here, do your thing in this apartment with your girl." And that's a wild scenario.
That's a front, yo.
Yeah, man.
Like, here, you can use my place to go fuck this chick.
But like at the same time, I'm like, yo, if that's my boy, yo, and you 21 and you've never gotten laid, I'd be like, throw him the keys, change the bedspread.
Yeah, that's my concern. Is like, just leave it better than you found it.
You're only gonna be 3 minutes anyway. It's your first time.
Yeah, it's your first time, and she's fine too. So
That's a wrap.
You ain't gonna be in there long.
Like, you know what? You don't even need the keys. You ain't gonna make it past the hallway. You be all right. Don't even worry about it right now. So yeah, they go in to be intimate. And you know, good for them. Like, you know, Raymond was like, oh, thank God. Whew. And he was just like, and done. So, you know, so they're just kind of sitting there, and Raymond is clearly in love with this girl, and that's dope. Good for him. And he meets up with her later on, and she's like, yo, I've got this apartment I'm looking at. See, like, you're moving a little too fast. But she's like, all we need is first month and last month's rent. Like, and, you know, we can do this, right? And he's like, yo, I don't even have a real job. like
I mean,
I make 8 cents an hour. Like, knock it off. But he's like, yeah, we can make it, because he wants to be with her, and he wants to, you know, show that he's a man and everything else. Understandable. So he's like, yeah, I think we can do this. Like, yeah, we could definitely move in together, because he, of course, don't want to live with his fucking dad in that crazy ass house. So he unfortunately starts selling drugs, and he winds up putting himself back into a even worse situation. We come back to Kevin and Yusef. They're at this meeting where they have to declare that they're, you know, sex offenders. And the woman running the meeting, like, they haven't seen each other since jail, right, which is kind of a dope reunion. They're like, oh, shit, son, like, what's going on? Like, there you are, there I am. And so that's where Yusef is like, yeah, man, I'm working on computers. And he was like, yo, I lied. Yo, I don't know
what the fuck I'm doing.
All right. He's like, but I learned that shit through some books. And like Kevin is like, yeah, man, that's cool. And like they're they're actually, they have a light moment, right? Then Kevin has to go up and hand in his papers. And this woman just puts their whole life on fucking blast. They're like, oh, look, it's Kevin, one of the Central Park 5 rapists. Like, yo, all right, relax. And she's like, you need to admit to what you did. And him and Yusef stand up there like, no, like, we're not doing that. And apparently Yusef, it gets relayed to that woman. She was like, yo, this is like the 5th group you've been kicked out of, because he refuses to admit.
Yeah, fuck you. I ain't do it.
Yeah,
that'd be me. No.
Especially, I'm out of jail? Oh, hell no, I'm not admitting that. I'm too scared y'all gonna use that to put me back in. Fuck no. You right. Nope, sure didn't. And so they stand tall, and it was like, no, we're not. We're absolutely not doing that. Then we see Raymond as he's slowly sliding back into selling drugs. He tries to give his dad some money to help his dad, and his dad is like, no, you pushing crack. Like, I'm not doing that. And Raymond is like, look, it's just to get started, just trying to get a place and all this other stuff. It's like, nah, it's not. Like, yeah. And you understand it. Like, you can understand Raymond's perspective of why he wants to sell drugs, so he can, get nice clothes and like get on the way back. And, of course, again, people will from the outside say, well, look, this guy is a criminal. Yeah, he had literally no other options. But, again, conversations about recidivism need to truly happen. The sort of the final scene of episode 3 is Raymond being arrested for selling drugs. And
his stepmother was like, I'm going to call your PO and tell him you're dealing drugs.
Now, I don't know if she did or not, but somebody got him arrested. And so he goes to jail. So for a crime he did commit, which is... And
poor Dad. Dad was like, look, you tried.
Yeah, and when you get out, you try again.
Yep.
And he did, but yeah, that's rough. Like, to go to jail for a number of years for a crime you didn't commit, and then to go back.
Yeah, for something you actually did.
For something that you did because you couldn't get a job, because you were thrown in jail for the shit you didn't do. God damn, man.
It's a cycle, man. Like you just cannot. It's a cycle that you just cannot get out of, which is really horrifying. So that is the end of episode 3. So any thoughts before we get into the hellscape that is episode 4? Get ready.
Not really.
Yeah, I had to stop halfway through this one too. I did the same thing. Where's my boy? I gotta hold him.
Yeah, this is the one that I had to. I literally paused for a little bit.
I was like, yo, this is. I can't do this. I watched this shit this morning.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Nigga, goddamn, you just trying to blow your whole day up. You better watch like Adventure Time or something right after that. God damn. Nah, yo. Like I watched this yesterday and it was just like, so is there anything we can watch that's light? Like, because I needed to watch something that was absolutely not this afterwards.
Yeah.
So this one starts out, we jump all the way back to the trial.
Yeah, to Corey's trial.
To Corey Wise's trial. Again, he's, once again played by Gerald Jerome, excuse me. And we watch as the state announces that he was found innocent on rape, which is bizarre, by the way, because he said in his confessional tape, which is what sunk him, like, this is my first rape. Like, I guess the jury was like, yeah, that seemed like bullshit. Like, that didn't seem accurate. Yeah. But somehow all the other parts are accurate. I'm like, again, I don't really get it. I
don't see how a jury convicted these kids. But,
I don't either. But sure. Implicit racism, I guess. And also just people being manipulated by the media and everything else. I guess it's very easy. Actually, I'm not going to say I guess it's easy. We see it all the time. It happens all the time. So he is found guilty on 3 counts, which were assault, sexual abuse, and rioting, which was interesting. And because he was actually 16, he is sent to Rikers Island, which, again, he is 16 years old. He's sent to Rikers Island with grown ass fucking men. Like, yo, come on, yo. Yo, you shouldn't be able to send any kid to adult prison until they are at least 21 years old.
Like,
yeah, how do you go to adult prison and you can't legally drink?
Right.
You can't legally drink. You can't legally vote. How do you go to adult prison?
You can't even legally vote, nigga. That's 18.
You barely can legally drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, come on, man. Like, this shit just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's literally holding a sign at one point, and she's like, okay, turn profile. And he's like, I don't know what that means. Like, he is just intellectually, he's not functioning normally. He just isn't. And that's not to take away anything from him as a human being. It's just a fact. And of all the kids to go through this, the kid who is mentally deficient in some sort of learning disability, he has to go through it, which he is hard-pressed to express himself. He doesn't understand the choices he makes. Like, with the transfers and stuff, he doesn't understand them. And it's like, no one's, like, it's one thing to not see their humanity, and that is clear throughout the entire series. It's one thing to not see them as kids. It's a different story to not see him as a kid who isn't normal functioning. Nigga, how are we having these conversations? Like, this is the same country that had to have a law to tell states like Texas not to execute people with mental retardation. We needed a law for that. Now, this dude is mentally handicapped. No, put him in an electric chair. Who gives a fuck? But they're a Christian nation. Like, that blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, he's
in prison. He did something. He deserves to be there, right? Everybody in prison deserves to be there.
Yeah, all right.
Everybody deserves a death penalty.
Yeah. Till they put your white nephew, white son in there. Oh, we need to get him out. Yeah, hurry up. Yeah. This mother, like, all right. You know what? Whatever. There's so many parts of this fucking episode that make me furious. So he is sent to Rikers, and he legitimately looks like a little kid next to these grown ass niggas in this jail. Yo. God damn.
And Jarrell Jerome was not exactly tall either.
Right. Which also,
So, yeah.
Which also, I mean, he's clearly under 5'9". Well, let's just say, because everyone knows 5'9" and above is normal height for a tall man. So Great Value Common comes in as the correctional officer. Or actually, let me rephrase that. Light-skinned Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wait. Yeah, I looked at the dude. I'm like, is that Common? I can't tell right now. It's weird.
So he comes in, this correctional officer comes in, and this guy's a real piece of shit, man. Like, he really is. And he comes in, and he's like, he says to this one guy, he's like, yo, you got me? And the guy's like, yeah, no doubt. And he basically introduces himself to everybody, and he's like, is everybody familiar with the game Simon Says?
Yeah.
Well, consider me Simon. He's like, basically what I say goes. And then he says, everybody get butt ass naked and lift your nut sacks. Again, he's 16 years old. How many times has he been butt ass naked next to a bunch of men? 0 times. Like, I remember going to camp and I was like, yo, communal showers? What the fuck is this nonsense? Oh, hell no. I'm just going to stink for 2 weeks. I'm scared. So he has to, like, immediately he's thrown into this whole situation, and he's put in a cell, and the correctional officer says, look, let me know if there's anything that you can do for me. And he was like, I said, let me know if there's anything you could do for me. And he's like, okay.
What that mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And he's like, it's not hard to figure out. And so, again, he's not all there. So, or like, he has a serious learning disability. And so he doesn't know. And he's like, look, I'm not even supposed to be here. And the guy's just like, all right, yeah, okay, buddy. So he puts him in his own jail cell, which I guess was a benefit that he wasn't put in like the modern day prisons where you're in there with like 14 dudes. It's fucking terrifying. I watch all those like Locked Up in Miami type of shit. Yo, that shit is fucking horrifying.
Yeah. You want to not want to go to prison? You have to watch those shows.
Nah, that's why I be on the straight and narrow. My nigga, like, when you download a movie, I don't even download movies. Yo, I'm not even fuck that. So we see this whole thing of it's the first night he's sitting there reading. There's one guy singing Moon River, and everybody starts screaming. This feels like pure hell. Everybody's yelling, and it's just nuts. And the next day, like, everybody is in the cafeteria, and this one dude just starts singing again. And this one guy's like, yo, shut the fuck up. And they just get into a fucking fight.
They did a really good job of juxtaposing Jarrell Jerome's, physicality amongst all these stuntmen, professional wrestlers, and
Everybody is fucking huge.
Everybody is a goddamn giant.
Yo, I'm like, this is...
It's just a bunch of swole ass grown men.
Yo, they just lifting weights
Jesus
all day. What the
Christ,
fuck else
dude.
they gotta do?
And he does a really good job of like cowering in the corner, like he looks small.
Nigga,
And
that be me. All day, every day. Yo, I'm not gonna pretend, if I went to jail. Yo, please don't hurt me. Yo. I'm not that big, yo. Like, I'm not. I'm 165 pounds when I'm working out a lot. This is 170 if I'm eating a lot of M&Ms. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, I ain't never gonna be super jacked. I'm not 7 feet tall. I'll be fucking terrified. I'm a Muslim now. Like, I am a Muslim now. Please.
I thought it was funny,
Fuck
like
that.
the guy singing, or whatever. Like
Anthony
the
Hamilton?
dude walked, the dude, big nigga that walked up to him like, yo, shut the fuck up. And the nigga that's singing is not that big. And he's like, nah, fuck that, and hit that nigga in the face with that goddamn tray.
Yeah.
I was like, well, never judge a book by its cover, nigga.
that's the Micah school of hurry up, grab something.
No, that's the proper school. Of
Right.
Yeah, in prison. Fuck out
Yo,
of
this ain't
here.
no UFC sanctioned fight. I'm gonna crack your head right with that metal tray. Nah. And they, it's just a bunch
just a
of versions of The
fucking
Rock. They just did different skin tones. It's like wrestling. I'm like, yo, fuck this.
Tattooed up and shit. Before the shit was popular.
Yeah, I'm like,
God damn.
nah, they was ready to fucking fight. So you've got Corey. He's there. After that, he's sitting in there. They're watching TV, and like everybody's in there just like watching like rap videos or whatever. And this dude comes over, and he's like just talking to him. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Like just chatting him up. And this guy is like, I guess like to the size point that you were making, Micah, like. This is the only other guy like that's his size, right? He's like
slightly taller.
yeah, and he's just he was just like, yo, so what happened to the other 4 dudes? Where they put them at that did the rape with you? He was like, we didn't do that.
Ain't do no rape.
Like, no, don't do that. And he's like, look, man, no disrespect, because apparently that's a thing in jail. Like, you don't really ask people about the shit that they're in there for. Again, I assume that is correct. I've seen documentaries. Never been in jail. Yeah, I know. Write your comments. You a bitch ass nigga. You right. I'm a bitch ass nigga. I ain't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know first name. Fuck all that. So he was like, yeah, they went to juvie basically. Then all of a sudden, that CO comes in and like everybody clears out. Like apparently they just knew. And as Corey tries to clear out. 2 dudes walk up on him, and the CO just locks the door, and these 2 dudes just grab him and beat the shit out of him. And they put him in the infirmary.
Like, why, yeah?
Just because...
For why?
Like, just because they didn't want to... because he didn't do anything for the CO.
Well, this is the thing. This is well, I don't know if this... Because in Rikers, they call this the program.
Excuse me?
It's called getting with the program. This is something, again, that I saw from the Khalif Browder thing. He didn't get with the program, so he constantly beat shit out of him. What happens is, if you don't get with the program, meaning like you do stuff for people,
yeah,
they just beat the shit out of you. Until you do. And if you don't, they just continue to beat you. Until essentially you might end up dead.
No, I'm going to get
This is a thing in Rikers that they do.
No, I'm going to get with the program. Off the rip.
Right.
Can you do something for me? What you need?
But, and here's the thing: it's like if you get with the program, like you're considered a bitch. But if you don't, they just beat you up because he was small, like much like Corey.
Yeah.
Like Khalif Browder was super. He was like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7".
He's 16, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 16.
Yeah, he was a little kid.
But I mean, if you about like 17, 18, yeah, the tallest you're gonna be.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
But like he was short, but he wasn't like small. He was kind of bulky.
Yeah.
But like they saw his stature, so they were figured, hey, I'm gonna pick on this nigga until he gets with the program, and that's kind of what they did to Corey. So he got with the program essentially. So that's when he started giving. And once you get with the program, essentially get protection, but you got to give up shit.
I mean,
in
that's
the process.
Oh, you a bitch. I will take that then daily ass whippings from these big niggas. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Here's my fucking Kit Kat. Like, fuck this.
They had an interview with
for
them
a
dude that beat
fucking
the
Nestle
shit out.
Crunch? Like,
Two Nestle Crunch. I'm like, yo, Officer Stone Cold, Officer Bionic Redneck. Yo, you can afford these, yo.
Right,
Come on, man.
I didn't even do nothing.
Yo, jail is a wild scenario.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I could never. Yeah, but like one of the saddest parts of this is like these 2 guys are kind of surrounding him. He's like, yo, I don't want no problems. He's like, you don't have to hurt me. Yo, he's a kid.
And they didn't. And they did anyway. I'm like, yo.
These are grown. Like, yo, that's the fucking fucked up mentality. These are grown ass niggas beating up on a 16-year-old kid. These niggas got like, they doing 5 to 10.
Yeah, whatever them
30.
niggas are in there for, they did it. Yeah, right. Look at them, yo. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they did that shit. And they just beat him up. And they beat him bad.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
Yeah. Yeah, and this fucking correctional officer is just like, whatever.
Well, he goes to the infirmary, and the woman that's in the infirmary, she knows who he is, so she kind of treats him like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I did my job.
Like, yeah, she's like, you can't help me. He's like, I mean, I did my job. And next time, she said, she gave him like the ice pack, and like next time, you might be dead. When you come in here, you might be dead the next time, or some shit like that. I'm like, ooh.
Again, I'd be like,
fucking crazy.
Like, again, I'd be like, yo, I didn't do it. Like, that's maddening. That is maddening to be in that situation where people are literally allowing you to be beaten up and harmed because they think, oh, well, this guy's a piece of shit rapist. Like, but I'm not, though. But I'm not. And no amount of screaming that from the fucking high hills will get anyone to believe you.
Right. Like, at what point do you be like, all right, maybe he really didn't. Like, this nigga's catching ass whoopings left and right. Saying, I didn't fucking do this. And you can tell I'm not all there.
Right.
I didn't fucking do it. You know? Like,
just didn't.
When do you say, oh, damn, maybe he really didn't do that shit? And then he keeps going to fucking parole hearings like, yeah, you have to admit to this shit and then you can get out. I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
No. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's crazy. So he gets beaten up pretty badly. Corey's mother then comes to visit him. And, you know, she says, oh, how you doing in here? And he's like, no, I'm you know, he's basically like, I'm surviving. And he doesn't tell her that he's been hurt, right? Because he doesn't want her to be concerned. You find out that he's got this sister, and I see again. I didn't notice this as it's on right now. He says Marcy didn't come, and he's like, "How is he?" And the mom says, "I wouldn't know," which I thought was kind of interesting, right? But more on that later because that was a fucking super left story that I did not see coming at all. So he realizes that his mom, because his mom can't come all the time because she doesn't have a lot of money. He learns from that other guy that he can get a transfer. And that transfer might take a year, but you might get transferred
to a closer prison.
Now, keep in mind, he's only like 9 miles away from Harlem or something like that, right? Like, or 19 miles or something like that. So he's in Rikers. Like, he's as close to home as he could possibly be.
Right. Rikers is like maybe like a mile from LaGuardia or some shit like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's not that far from LaGuardia Airport.
Right. But I mean, his mom is poor, so it's a little hard for her to get all the way out there. So, he gets transferred to 352 miles away, which was a fucking problem. But before he goes, that shitty CO says, like, next time don't ask for the infirmary. Infirmary's for snitches. You ask for solitary.
Yeah.
So of course he's now at his he's now at the new place that's 352 miles away, and he gets beaten up by literally fucking Nazis because they allow people to work in a laundry room with no security around.
Yeah, like that's bizarre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, you're in jail, right? You're this kid. Who would you rather be beat up by, right? I would rather be beat up by black people, right? Like,
100%. 100%.
I ain't getting beat up by white people, yo. I'm just not.
No,
that's when I die.
No, yo,
fucking Nazis try to beat me up.
No, they're trying to kill him, yo. No, yo, you gotta die, yo. You gotta die. No, you gotta die, yo. Look. Whoever up there has already sanctioned this. You gotta die, yo. I'm gonna try to kill one of the four of you. Yo, I am.
Like, fuck that, yo.
Yeah. You can't have a swastika on your arm, and I'm just letting that shit rock. Fuck.
Right.
No. You ain't gonna beat my black ass. Like, look, I'm gonna let my people whoop my ass because they got way more fast twitch muscle fibers than you do, and I can't fight them off. They're a lot bigger. Like, juxtapose those big niggas who just beat him up versus these four white boys. Nah, yo. Because look, even he couldn't throw no punches against those black dudes. He came around and he fucked that. He was like, let him I was like, no, fuck this noise. And that was fucked up because the four of these guys, they jumped him. Right, of course, it had to be four of them. They jumped him, and like, cause they mentioned something like, "Oh, you know, you raping a white woman or something like that." I'm like, one, y'all niggas ain't give a fuck about that. Get the fuck out of here. So they're beating him up, but he was carrying his own against four dudes. Like, I mean, you gonna lose that fight, but you know, throw some punches. And then another CO comes in, and they all stop, and he's like, "Oh, y'all all right?" And he's standing there. He got to pretend like he cool and shit. I'm like, yo, officer, I need help. Please.
Bruised ribs and shit.
So then he ends up, they were going to send him to the infirmary. And he was like, yo, I want solitary. So that's where, this is to me where the acting goes from like, wow, he's really good to holy shit, he's great. Like it turns a corner, and it turns a corner really fast. He starts to see his sister at one point, who we find out is trans.
Yeah,
Again, that story I did not see coming, which is a great wrinkle to that story, right? Like it's just showing the totality of his world. Because he starts hallucinating and he sees premonitions, and he sees his sister, and he thinks back to a time where his sister caught him trying to skip school. And at this point, I didn't realize that his sister was trans, and I think you're not supposed to realize that. I thought that his sister was just kind of like, for lack of a better term, like kind of just like a butchy kind of chick. Yeah. Right? She had cornrows, and you see two people walk by them, and he goes, why does everybody look at you like that? But then you come to find out that, in fact, it was his brother Norman who was trans, who was transitioning to being a woman. And so he's dealing with all of that, and he gets called up at one point. He gets called up to the chaplain after he's been in solitary for a good long while, and you come to find out that Norman or Marcy, his sister, has been murdered. And so he kind of loses it. And to his credit, the CO who has been kind of looking out for him, has this moment with him that like he embraced him, right, when he's like flipping out and he can't fucking deal with it. And he kind of gave him the bro hug, like to just try to calm him down. And we get like flashbacks of him watching his sister being thrown out by his mother, and like how it wasn't worth it, and like I got kind of emotional because like that CO, like I don't fuck with cops, like I just don't, but like that CO saw him for his humanity, and he saw him in that moment, and he looked out for him, and he knows he's just a kid, and he doesn't deserve to fucking be there for that shit, and like he just embraced him. He's like, he just gave him the, like, sometimes like with all like emotion and shit like that, and I know guys are not allowed to show emotion because somehow that's cool. Grow up. But sometimes in like moments like that, you need like another dude to be like, yo, this shit is okay. Like you're gonna be all right. And that to me is where male intimacy between guys is lacking, because sometimes even a woman telling you that isn't enough. Sometimes you need to hear a guy say, all right, nigga. Like, it's like striking vipers. Like, all right, nigga, kiss me. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, not that part specifically, but like sometimes you need a guy to just be like, look, I get it. And there's something to that. And I thought that was powerful. Like he just starts sobbing because he just does not know what to do. Like here he has lost his sister who he was clearly close to.
And he didn't, and the interesting thing is he didn't give a fuck whether she was trans or not. Like that was just his brother or sister.
Yeah, he just didn't care.
Like, it is what it is. And he lost to one person, one of the few people that gave a fuck about him.
Yeah,
a real trans actress, by the way.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't pull that. You can't pull that card.
You can't pull that card anymore.
You can't put people who are not trans in that role, yo.
You can't pull that card anymore. There's plenty of trans people out there that do a variety of different things, including acting. So
there's a whole fucking show.
Right.
And look, and I'm trans chicks out there killing it. Like they are
really good.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, I just did not know that wrinkle to his story, and I just found that
I don't think anybody fucking knew that before this shit.
Yeah, that was dope. That was a cool thing to find out. Then there's a whole series that that he doesn't like. There's no air conditioning.
Yeah, the AC solitary. Goes out.
Yo, in solitary, you in concrete walls. Yo. Like that's insane. And at one point, he had told Roberts the CO, they've just kind of become as friends as much as they could be, right? And Roberts brings him some books and magazines. And it was funny because Corey's like, damn, I thought you might have brought me like a TV and a Nintendo, which is funny. But he brings him like Popular Mechanics and some books and stuff like that, right? Which is dope. And he asks him, has he gotten any phone calls? And he says, no, he hasn't. And then he teaches him how to play solitaire and, and just, he gives a fuck about him. He really does. So then Corey's mom, Corey then gets a chance to go to parole. Like, again, he has just been spending just a bunch of time in solitary. He then goes to parole, and they're just like, hey, can you just go ahead and admit that you did it? And he was like, nope. And they're like, and we'll see in, another couple of years or whatever. Then at some point he gets a job. Roberts gets him a job cleaning up, like just mopping these rooms. And he's by himself, so he's safe. And at one point, this guy is in the room watching TV, and he turns down the music and like that's on the television because that was something that Corey got to enjoy. It was like actually watching time go by listening to music on this television. And it was like he actually had like a bright spot, right? It was just like him by himself and he's cleaning and like he kind of had found his groove in jail a little bit, which I think is what you kind of have to do. So this guy's watching television at one point. He will become very relevant later. And they get into a fight because he's like, yo, can you like turn the music back up? And the guy's like, no, fuck that. And they get into a fight. And the guy gets kicked out. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, all right, this was just like a thing that happened. Right. And it was just a day before one of his parole hearings. So then we see Niecy Nash's mom. She comes to visit him, and she is totally different than the last time we saw her. She is saved and sanctified. Like this probably was really powerful for you to see another one of your people come on around. Were you excited about this?
I mean, find it wherever you can find it, I guess. It took you long enough, I guess. But.
So she, interestingly enough, she says that when she's referring to her trans daughter, which she, in the flashback, refused to call her Marcy. It was just like, you're Norman. But once she gets saved...
that's mature.
Yeah, no, of course. That's what you should do when you're a grown-ass person. She then refers to, when she's talking to him after she's saved, she refers to her as Marcy, which I guess she came into acceptance of her after her death and after being saved, which I thought was interesting because it's normally the opposite. People become
they usually double down on that shit. Let me tell you, I can speak from not experience, right? Because I'm not a bigot, but I go to church with bigots, and sometimes they spew that kind of bigotry from the pulpit.
How do you deal with that?
I don't. Yeah. I have talks with my wife, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, this is. Look, half the shit that people say in church, I don't take to heart because I know what I feel, and I'm not gonna let some preacher or pastor or whatever. I think think for myself.
How do you feel about your son hearing that? Because I assume you'll take your son. Because he's just a child. So he's easily influenced.
If he does hear that, then I will talk to him and tell him what is the truth and not their truth. What is the actual truth? He's not going to be... He'll know God, but again, that's mainly because it's a way to discipline him, to scare him straight, so to speak. That's how you scare people straight, right?
I guess.
You're supposed to.
It's
supposed to. It's supposed to work, right? The threat of hell is supposed to not get people to kill each other.
Yeah, but you don't need that to not. I would argue all you need is human empathy. I don't think you need.
Sure, and that's what I'll tell him. But at the same time, like, I don't know. We haven't really decided what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna give him a
church
Starlight speech from the boy.
No.
It's pretty good.
Look, I don't fucking know what the hell we're doing on this earth.
Honestly, I would probably steer him, and you know what my views on religion are. That's probably what I would impart to him.
You're a giant hypocrite. You're gonna burn in hell.
That I don't know what the fuck is happening, and that I think God doesn't care. He's just looking. See what you do.
Laughing his ass off.
I mean, it kind of, yeah.
Like an absentee landlord. No.
Love that movie.
It's terrible,
It's
but I
great.
love it. It's
Terrible. Is it?
It's ridiculous.
Terrible and ridiculous are two different things.
As the guys on How Did This Get Made said, like, this was made by a bunch of guys in a cigar bar. It definitely was. Those Al Pacino speeches are amazing.
Yeah, I love
that part, no one can argue. There's no way they were even written down. He was just like, I got it. I'll write my own speeches. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to do the religious thing, with my kid, but, that would, if I were religious, that would be my concern, which is.
No, see, we wouldn't, like, there would be no.
Like, I wouldn't take, I guess my point is, it's not so much all of the religion, like, being religious is the problem. It's me going to a church that spewed those kind of things. I would never be in a place where the person on the pulpit was like, and the gays are going to burn. I'd be like,
That's one of the reasons why we don't go to church as it is.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like if I was religious, it would have to be like super liberal church. Like,
Right.
And they
like
have those like all inclusive,
Unitarian
right? And that's that's kind of what I am. Like the only reason we didn't get up and leave is because it was Father's Day when we heard my parents pastor say that.
Oh, me and my wife, we bounced on the day of my cousin's baptism. He was like, we need to go to Annapolis and stop the gays from getting married. And we were like, and walked right the fuck out. No,
The only reason why I didn't walk out the last time I was in church is because I was at a funeral.
Yeah. Yo, how are you using a funeral as a way to pump? That's
And I was like,
funny.
yo, what kind of bullshit is this?
Yeah,
Me and my
like,
sister
that's
looked at each
terrible,
other
man.
like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
That's terrible.
But it's like, it's a funeral, so I can't leave. I'd have walked right. If it was anything else, I'd have been like, nigga, suck my dick and walk the fuck out. Like, yo, that nigga behind you in the choir, he gay as shit. But you cool with that, right? Fuck off, nigga. Like, get out of my face.
Hey, come on.
And he
The guy,
was.
like, the guy playing the piano.
Yeah.
Look, always.
He was. I'm like, yo, I can fucking tell,
Look,
yo.
look. I didn't even know who you were talking about, but it's always.
It was, yo. It was.
It's either that or the choir director, or both.
Who's
You can
always
tell.
like a Luther Vandross
That's right.
type.
That boy can sing,
A
yeah.
late Luther Vandross
Right.
type, kind of husky,
No, this dude was mad skinny.
sing his ass off. You know what I mean?
What was it? Cedric the Entertainer, like, Luther. Not quite. Like, knock it off. Come on, guys. We all know.
Oh, man. I was just like, yo, this is fucking wild, yo. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. No, I
How
couldn't.
you start this shit at a funeral, yo?
Yeah, because it captured the audience.
Like shacking up and the gays and all this. I'm like, nigga, you wild. Like, cut it out. And that was his brother. His brother was the pastor. When it passed, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at my wife and we
you
were
a
like,
fucking
yeah,
asshole,
we
you know?
can, yeah.
yeah, I don't do church now.
Nope. All right, let's keep moving. So he asks for a transfer and he gets it. He then moves away from the safety of Roberts into this other prison, which is, I think, like another 15 miles away from where he was. So I think he's at like 362 miles away from Harlem. They make mention of that. And then he's back in Gen Pop, and not in solitary. He then is attacked by several inmates, and the CO who allows it to happen, he basically was like, he literally pried his hands off the bars so they could get to him, and he's beaten up and stabbed.
Yeah, Wendy State Penitentiary.
Look,
this dude was a piece of shit.
He really was. He really was. And they're like, and by the way, I'm sure, and this is not to make light of anything, I'm sure that he was raped in jail too. Like, probably, right? Because for some reason that's a way to show power with this type of shit, which is horrifying. Again, at this point, what is he, 19?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, maybe 20.
It's like 6 dudes,
Yeah.
Like, for what? They stabbing him and shit?
Yeah.
Like, he should be dead.
He's lucky that he's still alive.
Like, he should, literally be dead.
Yeah.
But somehow.
Yeah. Somehow he survived. And so this CEO comes to him later on, and he was like, yeah, when I heard it was you coming to the jail, I got really excited. I had a welcome committee all ready to let you know that, you're not important and all this other shit. And I'm like,
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, and he's like, justice was served and all this other shit. I'm like, all right, Jesus.
Do CEOs get therapy?
I don't know.
Do CEOs get therapy?
Yeah,
they should.
They should.
I mean, I don't think it's forced upon them.
Like, they should, because that's a really fucking hard job.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That job is like much like police officers. That shit is really fucking difficult. And they were also ones that see like the worst of humanity.
Yeah.
But then at the same time,
they can also
they become the worst of humanity.
They can be easily.
Yeah. So
because it's a corrupt system.
Yeah. Right? Like you're sitting there and it's just you see people just stabbing each other. Like I was looking at something like a CEO. They have to be like CEOs have to be within 300 feet of each other at any given time. Because if a prisoner starts wilding out, another CEO has to be within walking distance of them to kind of save the other person's life if they have to. No. Because a prisoner can kill you pretty quickly if they want to. If you treat them like shit, and that motherfucker, and if he wants to, he'll kill you.
No,
he'll find a way to kill you as a CEO, and that nigga don't give a fuck if he's got life already.
No, those are the most dangerous people in the world.
If he ain't got shit to live for, he will stab the shit out you. You just gonna get more time. Add it to the life in prison. Whatever.
Right. What do you care?
Yeah, I got 300 years.
Yeah, so it's a rough fucking job. But again, like, you kind of took that shit. I ain't trying to be no motherfucking CEO in the prison.
Oh, hell no, yo. My cousin's a CEO.
$60,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah, my cousin's
perks, right? Like free Nestle Crunch bar?
No.
What the fuck?
Unlimited.
You gotta have a certain mentality, and I don't think I think most CEOs don't have the proper mentality to be a CEO.
It's probably true
because
it's a hard job, man.
Like, you have to treat these dudes with respect,
even though they're pieces of shit.
Like some of them absolutely deserve to be there, but you got to treat them with respect, or else you might end up dead. But you can't be too rough, because then you'll end up dead. But you can't be a bitch because then
you might end up dead.
Because they'll like exploit you. Like, I want this shit. Bring this shit to me, or else you might end up dead.
No.
Like, it's like what do you do?
And I quit.
You have to find a fine line between like respect. Like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that, my nigga. Like, stop it. Nah, yo.
Yeah. UPS is hiring.
Right.
I don't want to be anywhere near the penal system. Sorry.
Sounds too close to penis.
Yep. No thanks. So Corey starts to hallucinate while back in solitary.
After they stitched him up from being stabbed and almost murdered.
Yeah. So he sees the girl he was with the night in question in 1989, and they start to have sort of this fantasy. He starts to have this sort of fantasy view of going to Coney Island with her instead of going to the park, and it's just kind of like a bright spot for him.
That's when Oprah was interviewing those guys. They said that, like, when they first got in, the other inmates would talk about dreaming of freedom, and they didn't believe it until they actually had those dreams of freedom. And then you wake up and you're
in
here,
a fucking jail cell,
in jail, and it's like, oh shit,
Jesus, man, that's so fucking. Oh, I do not want to ever go to jail. Not even for fucking 2 hours. No thanks. So then he has another parole hearing. They, of course, deny him and say no. because he refuses to admit that he raped anybody because he didn't. He has another premonition about his mother, he's like, look, he kind of has a forgiveness for like all the shit between the two of them too, right? He gets another transfer. Now he's 266 miles away from Harlem. And like, it's going a little bit better for him. He's kind of getting into his zone again, right? And the officer comes up to him and he's like, look, man, you got a parole hearing. And he was like, no, I'm not going. He's like, I'm maxing out. Like, he gets
a transfer and Roberts is back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's back with somehow.
Wherever he was, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, they don't want to hear my truth. So I'm not going to parole. He sees that Roberts is back. Roberts turns on the television and it's
9/11.
fucking 9/11 is happening to give you an idea of passage of time.
Right. So that was 2001.
Yeah.
He went to prison in 1990.
Yeah.
It's 11 years.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts. So while he's out in the yard, this dude comes up to him and he's like, hey man, my name is Mateus Reyes. I was in Attica. He's like, do you remember me? And he's like, yeah, I remember you. He was the dude that he was fighting with over the television. And he was like, yeah, I remember you. He's like, look, man, I don't want it. Like, I got no beef with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It is what it is. And he said, Reyes says, are you still telling the world that you're innocent? And, he's like, yo, what is this about? And so he's like, look, man, you got a lot of hope, and he's like, I just want to apologize for what happened. And then you come to find out, we cut over to Femke Jensen, or Femke, whatever, how the fuck you pronounce it.
Femke.
Whatever.
Femke.
Yeah, whatever.
Like a female key.
Whatever. Jean Grey from the original X-Men movies. She's brought in by her boss, and her boss is like, yo, remember that the old Central Park 5 jogger case? Turns out we might have fucked up, because there's a Latin gentleman who seems to kind of be admitting to the whole thing. And he was like, yeah, it turns out you were right from the jump. And so then she and her partner go and they interview Mateus Reyes, and then he fucking tells them everything and gives details and all this other shit. He's willing to give up his blood and everything and do samples of all his DNA, and it matches the DNA that they found. And he relays a story of like dragging, knocking this woman out, dragging her to the woods, hitting her with a rock and raping her and all this other shit. And he had also been responsible for several other rapes that also matched
murders.
Yeah, like this nigga was in.
He didn't kill her, but he killed other fucking women.
Yeah, and he was in jail. He's in jail for the rest of his life.
He was already in jail for it. Yeah, right.
Yeah. He found God and was like,
yeah, that's
I'm gonna purge my sins.
Yeah, again,
curious.
Thanks, God. I mean, could have stepped in. Could have stepped in like before the rapes and murders, but whatever.
At the Oprah interview,
is that guy still alive? By the way,
Mateus Reyes.
Yeah,
I think so.
Interesting.
At the Oprah interview, Oprah asked Antron. She was like, basically like describe what happened, and Antron was like, I got a call from people, and I called from my mother and said that this is that the guy admitted that that he did it and I'm free, and his mother, and he was like, my mother said, see, now do you believe in God? And Antron was like, no, but that's still okay. It was like, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
my nigga Antron today. Like he was like, nah, not buying this.
Like, nah, yo. Nah, I don't believe in God because God shouldn't have let this shit out.
I mean, he's making a lot of good points.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, not sorry. So then the interviewers, they interview one of the cops, the detective, and they're like, yo, you found 4 people who were raped. You found that you nailed this guy, Mateus Reyes, for 4 different rapes. But then this one didn't pop your interest. And it matched the same shit. Like the same, MO.
Same MO. Like, you're like, come on, yo.
Well,
You didn't do
first
your
of all-
fucking job.
First of all, this guy plays the father of Tommy from Power, so you can't trust this motherfucker at all.
Okay.
And secondly, like this shit is so disgusting to me, man. Like he's not. There's no remorse. Like
Zero.
The leaps in logic that you have to justify is like, I wouldn't want the job at that point, right? Like, how can you sleep? I guess they sleep thinking that they have made the world a better place. So
I don't know. I'm not a bullshit artist. Like, you know who I'm really bad at bullshitting? Me. Like me. Bullshitting myself. Nah, nigga, you did that. Like, nah, nigga, you didn't do that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And like, they legitimately, they're like, yo, you used the read technique. That shit has been
that shit don't
banned.
fucking-
That shit does not work. Yeah, you're just breaking people to say anything. And he was like, look, I did my job and don't give a fuck. He's like, I don't even know what the read technique is. Well, nigga, just because you don't know what it is, don't mean you ain't do it. And so then she meets with Fernstein, Felicity Huffman's punk ass, and she basically was like, yo, you were wrong. And she's like, I wasn't wrong. There was a sixth rapist. I'm like, all right, white woman, go sit down. Like, just fucking go sit down. And like, she just refuses to admit like she fucked up. Like, it's not like your punk ass is gonna pay for anything. Nothing will happen to you to admit, like, you know what, we fucked up.
You simply identified a sixth rapist. Like, really? This is what you're going with?
Like, wow.
None of those other DNA was there, but like, so he did it, and the other 5 just watched him do it. That's
But
what
you
you're
don't have
saying?
any you don't have any tracks or anything.
Nothing.
They were all floating, just above. They had a platform they brought in, like bleachers, and just watched it, like it was a sporting event. Kind of dumb fuck bullshit. Again, one of the things that drives me crazy is people completely incapable of admitting when they're wrong about something in the
I don't
face.
understand that.
In the face of absolute facts. Like, you didn't say that. Like, or like, we saw you say that. No, I didn't. Here's a tape of you saying that. No, it's a deep fake, nigga. Like, what the fuck? All right. So,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
she calls Fernstein out because, she has several books. She's like, oh, how are your book sales going, you fucking bitch? Like, while you were writing crime novels, these kids were, they were sitting in jail, losing their lives. And you owe them that. And she was like, thanks for buying my books. I'm out. It's like, all right, well, fuck off. So, one more time, Corey is brought to the chaplain. And so he thinks, who died? Right? Because the last time I talked to the chaplain, my sister died. And the chaplain just puts his mom on the phone and she's like, this person admitted to doing it. Like, you coming home, you're free. Look.
Wait, what? I'm like, fucking bullshit.
One, I'm going to be like, say that again. Like, just so, like, is Ashton Kutcher there? Like, this is not some bullshit. All right, this is for real. Hold on a second, because you about to hear my grown ass weep like a baby, yo. You've never felt better in your life than to get a phone call to say that you are exonerated for a rape that you have been screaming that you didn't do for 15 years. There's not a better feeling in the world. There can't be. There can't be. Except punching Felicity Huffman in the face on national television, I would assume.
I couldn't imagine.
Nah, yo. There's not enough Kleenex, yo. I would just be crying my fucking eyes out. I just would be. And the other guys find out they got exonerated by watching it on TV.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yo. What the fuck? Like, this guy was like mopping up, and they're like, "Hey, isn't this you on TV?" They're like,
He's like, yeah, I mean, what the fuck are they talking about? What I do now? It's kind of like, what the fuck did I do now?
Yeah, and they're like, nah, yo, they admitted it. Like, they couldn't have called you at home first? Like, that was weird. But yeah, they all find out that they were exonerated, like, while they're at work and shit. And then it's just them, and Raymond gets out of jail, and they have a public event, and they're all there, and they're all introduced to the crowd as the they should have been shown as the exonerated five, but that's what they are, right? These fucking 5 boys that had to grow up in prison and be men, who eventually got out. Look, my wife said immediately after this happened, she was like, I hope John Leguizamo divorced that woman. Like, you call my son a rapist, and he didn't do that shit. Like, that'd be grounds for dismissal. Like, it would be.
For me, it would.
What's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
For me.
my son didn't do this shit. I don't do that. So the 5 stand there, and you can still see, like, if you look at how they're all dressed, and then you see how Corey is dressed, like, he's still he's a little bit more juvenile than them. Like, he's got the gold chain. You know what I mean? Like, it's because he's still so fresh out of jail.
Yeah,
like, these guys have been out and living.
They've been out for like 8 years now, or something like that, for at least 5.
But he's still kind of trapped in that world. And then we come to find out, like, they kind of do an after credits thing. All of them have moved out of New York except for Corey.
That's all he knows.
That's all he knows. No, not me. Gone, gone. Immediately gone. I'm not moving to Georgia, but
Yeah, I wouldn't move to Atlanta.
I ain't moving to the South. Fuck that. No.
An interesting thing about this is the other 4 didn't know what happened to Corey until this movie.
Yeah. Jesus.
They didn't know what the fuck he went through until they saw this series.
Wow.
So they were like, yo, god damn. I mean, I know we had a little rough, but shit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even imagine that. Like, yo.
Yeah.
He went through fucking hell.
Right. Like, the 3 of us go to jail, and, like, you just don't know what happened to one of us.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. All right.
Yeah.
That is the end of episode 158. The second part of When They See Us, episodes 3 and 4. Look, guys, thank you for listening. I hope that you guys enjoyed those 2 episodes. I would say that we enjoyed doing them as much as you can enjoy kind of going through something like this. But it feels good to kind of get back to doing something a little bit more serious, because we had a couple weeks of just utter bullshit. That being said, I don't know what the next movie is going to be for episode 159. It's going to be shenanigans, because I need a break.
Yeah, these 2, yeah.
Because this is more like 4 episodes, right? Like, it's more like 4 episodes. So episode 159. Look, we don't need your suggestions. We're not doing Soul Plane. Relax.
Yeah. Stop it.
Please stop. But it'll be something a little bit lighter before we get back into something a little bit more serious. But any parting words?
No, just don't trust white people.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to hate them. Like, I don't hate white people, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. And
Brad,
you shouldn't either.
Yeah, don't trust yourselves.
Yeah. If you're white and you have a mirror in your house, break it. Just break it. I mean, I got
nothing. Yeah, it's like, just watch it. I mean, again, it's really difficult, but like, I would implore you to watch it. It's really good. Yeah, it just is.
I would say that's. I would agree with you. I would just say I'm thoroughly impressed by Ava DuVernay. I think she is, again, getting better and better with every project.
Yeah.
I thought, just the acting across the board was fucking fantastic. It just was. And it's riveting. It's riveting. And I'm really excited to see what she does next. And this story is important. This didn't happen in 1492. It didn't happen in the 1600s. It's happened in our lifetime. Again, these dudes are 5 and 6 years older than us. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
it could happen to any of us.
8.
Huh?
Corey is 8 years older now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not a lot, man. It's not a lot. So, yeah, it's serious. And if you've got kids, I mean, I think it's important to watch this. If you've got teenage kids, it's definitely important for you to sit and watch it with them. I think it's, it's It's very important. So that's it for for episode 158, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.
Take it.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.